They were right. I think this book is going to emotionally destroy me.
Do you ever want to be completely and utterly emotionally devastated? Because I know I do. But sometimes I just like to have a good cry. I don't know why, but I've been feeling so down the last probably week and a half for no real reason. I've just been really sad. Sometimes you just need to have a really good cry, right? That's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna see if I can read some really sad books and cry some. So I think that I need some book recommendations for super sad books that are guaranteed to make me cry. So I am literally going to go on TikTok and search books that will emotionally destroy you. Oh, a book that breaks your heart and leaves you sobbing for hours. What is it? I hate when it takes you 67 years to find out what the book is. Oh my God. And they're just like holding it up and not telling you what the book is. What's the book? Okay, The Song of Achilles, I have read it, I have cried to it. Archer's Voice, I haven't read that. All the Bright Places, 1,000 Boy Kisses, A Little Life. Been hearing that one a lot lately. Okay, Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. I think I've read one book by Colleen Hoover ever, and it was Verity, which was like a thriller. Are the rest of her books sad? Reminders of Him. Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. If You Had Been With Me, I read that recently and I did cry. Okay, so those are some good options. I'm gonna go see what is on Kindle Unlimited because I am in a book buying ban and I don't want to buy anything new. Kindle Unlimited feels like they're free.
I'm like 3% in and I'm already crying. This is just what I needed. Allie thinks I'm crazy for doing this to myself. They were right. I think this book is going to emotionally destroy me. And I'm like 20 pages in. Did I make a mistake? Is this book too sad? I feel like I've cried the entire time. If you want to cry, read this book. Oh my God. It is the most emotionally devastating thing I have ever read. But at the same time, it is really making me rethink and reframe how I think of life. And the fact that, everyone just lives like they have forever. But you don't. Back at my crying. 49% in, and how many times have I cried reading this book? I don't even know.
Wow. That is all I can say off the bat about 1,000 Boy Kisses. That was 100% the most emotionally devastating book I have personally ever read. I cried constantly throughout that book. I don't know what it triggered in me, but it triggered something. I'm gonna cry thinking about it. Oh my God. I know I saw a TikTok recently where somebody said, I don't like trauma in a book just for the sake of trauma. And I think because of the mood I was in, where I was just so sad and just wanted to cry, it was perfect, actually. So I just cried the entire book. And I think it got all my tears out. So that was good. I liked the way it was written. I liked the outlook on life aspect. I am not a religious person myself, but even though there was a little bit of religion in the book, there wasn't a ton. So I still was able to relate to the story. The title, I think, is a little dumb. So I never would have picked up a book with a title or a cover like this, but I'm really glad that I did because it was just what I needed at that point in time. And I feel like it did remind me of the beauty of life and the miracle of life and the fact that we're all here living, that we all have the power to appreciate the little things. And it's really easy. I feel like we live in such a busy society and there's always so much going on, and it's so easy to get distracted by social media and movies and even books and not really live life fully and appreciate the little things like a sunrise or a kid laughing or a good song, you know, or a dog with like really soft fur. There are so many just little joys in life that are easy to miss, and it reminded me to look for the little things and take joy in those little moments. So it was a really good book. I gave it 5 stars. So that was great. I really enjoyed it. I loved crying about it. It was indeed emotionally devastating. If you want to cry, this book is going to make you cry probably. I will say it's YA, so like it is a little juvenile because it's a YA book, but I knew that going into it. So I knew what to expect, really. So I am here wondering why I am so sad and why I am having such a hard time, and my period came today, so that's very fitting and gives a complete explanation probably to why I am sad with absolutely no reason at all. But when it comes to reading super sad books because I'm sad and want to have a cry, that's like pretty standard for me. When I was a child, I used to get out from the library chicken soup books, like those chicken soup for the soul, and I'd get out different ones and I would find the saddest stories I could in there, normally about death, and just sob all the time. I also used to make myself cry as a small child before bed by convincing myself that my mom died, because I thought that if I cried before bed, like if I cried myself to sleep, that I would have a better night's sleep. That doesn't seem right. That was weird. I don't know where I got that idea, but that's weird, right? That one we can agree is weird. Also, I have been wondering what to call you guys, like my little reader buddies, my little reader friends, my little book besties, you know, all the options. I think I've decided. I want to call you guys my book buddies. I like the alliteration, the BB. I like that it's gender neutral. Everyone is included. The he's, the she's, the they's, the thems. Everybody can be a buddy. It reminds me of when I was a kid and we had this book buddy program at my school where you would get paired with an older reader when you were a child, like a little kid, and then a younger reader when you were older to read to, and it was very fun. I loved it. I still have a Christmas ornament that one of my book buddies gave me when I was like in grade 6. Book buddies. Do you guys want to be my book buddies? I don't know. I just think it's really cute. Has someone already done that? Am I not allowed? I don't know. I like it. Do you guys like it? I think I really like it. I am going to read my second ever Colleen Hoover book. I feel like she is such a controversial author because people either absolutely love her books or hate them. So in my research for the most heartbreaking books out there, I found this one, Reminders of Him. It is a very popular book of hers. We'll see what I think. Like I said, I have only ever read one Colleen Hoover book, and it was Verity, which is a thriller, which I think is going to be completely the opposite of this like heartbreaking novel. I have been flying through this book. It is a pretty quick read, I would say. I'm gonna say I'm not as emotionally devastated as I was by the last book. That was something else. This book is definitely heartbreaking and like heart-wrenching, but it doesn't have me sobbing the whole time like the last book did. There was a quote that I just came across on page 248, and it is, "There was before you and there was during you. For some reason, I never thought there would be an after you, but there was, and I was in it, and I'll be in it forever." And I have heard that quote all over TikTok, and I never knew that it was from this book. So it was kind of fun to stumble across that and be like, oh my god, wait, I have heard that somewhere. I finished it. My second ever Colleen Hoover book what did I think? I actually liked it. I gave Reminders of Him 4 stars. I guess that now's a good time to explain what it is about, because I kind of just said I'm gonna read Colleen Hoover and left it at that. So this book is a pretty heartbreaking story. So this book is about a young mother who goes to prison for 4 years for vehicular manslaughter for the death of her boyfriend, the father of the baby she is pregnant with when it happens, but she doesn't know she's pregnant. She gets released from prison and moves to the town where it all happened, where her daughter is living. She has never once met her daughter. She knows nothing about her besides the name that she gave her. And she knows that the family that is raising her child wants nothing to do with her and completely blames her for the death of their child. So it is a obviously heartbreaking story. I mean, I really empathized with her as a mother, and also though with the parents of the man that she killed, and empathized with them and like the fact that their baby was taken from them, but also like she's being kept from her baby. So that was really sad, and I definitely teared up quite a few times reading this book. It, I think, is very beautifully written and very well done. I thought the characters were very well rounded and the plot was pretty sussed out. The only issue I had, and why I ended up giving this book 4 stars instead of 5, was the conflict is resolved very, very, very quickly and very simply for how big of an issue it was throughout the book. It's all fixed at like 90% through. It just didn't feel very realistic. I see why it ended the way it did, and I see why the conflict ended the way it did, I mean, but I just didn't love it. I feel like it needed more time. It needed more of them discussing things. It needed more time devoted to it than it got in the book. So that's why I gave it 4 stars. But overall, I actually really liked it. Maybe I'll read more Colleen Hoover in the future. I actually really enjoyed it. I will say that I did not cry as much as I wanted to cry. This video was supposed to be books that emotionally destroyed me, and while 1,000 Boy Tears 100% did that, this book didn't. I teared up a few times. No actual tears were shed. I was not left a sobbing mess, and I think that maybe it's because it's a happy ending story, and 1,000 Boy Kisses was not a happy ending at all. So how am I feeling right now? Honestly, I'm still sad. I don't know what has gotten into me. I have just been down lately, and I am still sad. Apparently all the crying I did didn't really help. Thanks for watching me cry a bunch. Didn't know I would do that on the internet, but wow. My sad girl time has come to an end. Maybe now I'll try to read some happy books and see if that will put me in a happy mood. So I will be back here again next week with another video. Every Saturday I post a reading related video here on this channel. You can also follow me on TikTok. I don't really have a TikTok, but you can follow me there. I also have an Instagram, and then I have all of my Allie and Sam accounts that I share with my wife, where we share our life and our love and our adventures. So if you want to see more of me throughout the week, that's where you can find me. This is just my little hobby, fun spot on the internet to share my book stuff, because I really like to read, as you have gathered. I'll be back next week. See you then.